Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this episode of the Dan Dawson Show. So let's do a little Sunday light reading. This is from the Associated Press by Josh Oak. It's posted 1 hour ago. Happy Sunday, everybody. By the way, what's the price of Biden's plan? Democrats strive for zero. Let's read this. Washington, Associated Press, what will it cost to enact President Joe Biden's massive expansion of social programs? Congress has authorized spending up to $3.5 trillion over a decade. Biden is prodding Democrats to fully cover the cost of the legislation by raising taxes on corporations and the wealthy. Okay, so read. Let's understand. Break from the article for a second. It's actually not raising taxes on the richest, on the rich. The wealthy have these people called accountants. The accountants make sure that they pay the bare minimum, which is why, now follow me on this, right? Which is why millionaires, billionaires pay less than their secretaries who make $40,000, $50,000 a year. So just keep that in mind. What they're actually going to do is raise gas tax and property tax. That's what they always do. Negotiating the price of prescription drugs and dialing up other sources of federal revenues, such as increased IRS funding. The idea is that entire package should pay for itself. It's not going to, we've already discussed it. Defending a bill not yet fully funded, Democrats are determined to avoid a deficit finance spending spree. They're growing frustrated by the focus on the proposed $3.5 trillion spending total, arguing far too little attention is being paid to the work they're doing to balance the books. Biden on Friday said he would prefer the price tag described as zero. Well, nobody cares what you prefer because you're lying. The Democrats always lie. Look, they just lied on the Border Patrol. They lied about COVID. They're still lying about COVID. This is what they do. But the side of the equation, but the revenue side of the equation is fixing, and it's emerged as a core challenge for Democratic bargainers as they labor to construct one of the largest legislative efforts in a generation. Their success or failure can help determine whether the bulk of Biden's agenda becomes law and can withstand the political attacks to come. Republicans, locked up in opposition, which they should be. There's no way to pay for this. There's no way to pay for it. We're at the highest deficit we've ever been in the United States. Let me put it in perspective for you. We are $129 trillion in debt, or thereabouts, right? After World War II, we were only 114. We fought a world war for 4 years, and we were in less debt. So, and here we are. They aren't waiting for details. They've trained their focus on $3.5 trillion spending, $3.5 trillion spending ceiling set by Democrats, pillaring that sum as fiscally reckless, misguided, big government at its worst, because it is. Let's move down. So Pelosi, here's what she said. This is not about the price tag. This is about what's in the bill. Well, what's in it? Speaker of the House, Pelosi, what's in it? Biden and administration officials stress the plan is as much about fairness as dollars and cents by taxing the wealthy and corporations. I've already explained to you, they're not really doing that. They're not doing that. Continuing back to the article, they hope to fund paid family leave and child tax credits that help those reaching for the middle class, all while adopting environmental and economic policies that help the U.S. compete with China. But the haggling over a final spending target is overshadowing the policy goals they are trying to achieve. Okay, So Washington Rep, Pramila Jayapal. Ugh. This is Washington State. I thought I've read of that place. It's ridiculous. Elite negotiator for House Progressive, the worst liberals ever. They're like wannabe Californians, but without the good weather. Said Friday that reporters should not depict the measure as costing trillions of dollars when the company proposed tax increases would cover the cost. Now, you've seen in prior videos, I'll explain to you how my accountant makes sure I pay no taxes. He does that every year, and I pay him a large sum of money to do that. Let's finish what she said, then I'm going to explain that to you. I just believe that this is going to be a $0 bill. That's the number one priority, she said. Anyway, so here's what my accountant does. Every year, I pay him reasonably around a few $1,000s. You know why? So I don't pay a few $1,000s more to the federal government. So I remember the first year I had my business. And he was like, this bill's going to be expensive because this is how much I charge. And I'm like, you know what? I heard Warren Buffett. No. Actually, it was Robert Kiyosaki who wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I recommend that you all read that. I'm not even going to read any more of this shit. It's bullshit. Who wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And the first year he started a business, he got his accountant's bill in. And he went to the accountant's office to talk to him. And he goes, I'm paying you $25,000. Why am I paying you $25,000? And the accountant goes, so you don't pay the IRS $125,000. Don't ever question me again. So my accountant actually gave me the bill the first time I ever did this years ago. He goes, I'm sorry, this is very expensive. And so I told him the story. It's like, I pay you thousands, so I don't pay the IRS even more thousands. It's ridiculous. I mean, whatever. They're talking about fiscal stewardship. No. And then you got this lying ass Joe Biden who says it's reducing taxes, not increasing taxes. Biden said Friday, he's lying. You just read in an article where they're going to increase taxes. Now, who's going to pay those taxes? It's going to be people like me and you. People like me and you. Because Dan doesn't have tens of thousands of dollars to pay an accountant every year. Now, in this, they say they want to increase taxes on people, or they're not going to increase taxes on people earning less than $400,000 a year. Go to the gas pump and tell me that. Go to the grocery store and tell me that. Look at any tax. It's always hammered home on the poor people. Not the poor, but those who are trying to make a living. It's always hammered home on the middle class. It's never hammered home on the rich. And it's not going to be this time. It's just ridiculous. They're trying to say this isn't going to cost anything. It's going to cost a lot. And it's going to cost people like me and you. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think we need to research women's studies in Afghanistan. See, I think we need to fund the Green New Deal. So I think we need to send all these billions to other countries, apparently, except for Israel, because the squad hates that, because they're anti-Jew. I just watched AOC cry. I said this in another video, which Ben Shapiro actually wrote an article and used the title for, so I'm all proud of that. I just watched AOC cry because Palestinians won't be able to kill more Jews because she's evil. She's a very evil woman. So this shit is ridiculous. I'm gonna probably put out about 3-4 videos today. And as always, like, subscribe, share, send it to your liberal friends. Let's continue our liberal education program. Like, subscribe, share, and as always, do what you gotta do.